Welcome back. In my previous video, I familiarized you with the vital themes and the poetic devices of the poem My Mother at 66. Today, I'm going to take a line-wise explanation for you to comprehend it further. It's going to be really beneficial. So let's begin. My Mother at 66. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. So let's come down to the explanation. The poem begins with the poet traveling from her parents' home to Cochin. Her mother is sitting beside her and she is dozing. Kamaladas notices that her mother is sleeping with her mouth open. She looks extremely tired, weak, and old. She looks closely at her face and finds it ashen, which means exactly pale or grayish in color. She compares her face to that of a corpse, a dead body, indeed painful. So it's a simile. The comparison makes the mother's face appear almost lifeless. It certainly reminds her of her mother's old age, weakness, as well as approaching death. Anne realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting. Kamala Das now realizes painfully that her mother really is as old as she appears to be. This thought hurts her because she understands that her mother is growing old and that she may lose her one day. But she does not want to continue thinking about it. So, what she does is she tries to divert her attention. She began looking outside the car window, and what she saw was a contrast between what is inside the car and what is outside. Young trees sprinting. In fact, the car moves forward and the trees appear to move rapidly backward, so they seem to be sprinting. Exactly, the trees will not run, they will not sprint. It is what human beings would do. So the trees are personified here. The word young is also very important because the trees suggest youth, energy, and vitality. One thing more, that the quick movement of these trees suggests the quick passage of time. The merry children spilling out of their homes. The children she saw, they were just happily running out of their homes. They were very cheerful. So it's a metaphor. Now, I'll just give you an example. You take a tumbler, you start pouring in water or liquid into it. What will happen? It will definitely flow out, it will overflow. So, think of the position of the children. They are so eager to rush out of the homes and play. So, we see that it is a comparison which is made here between the children and the pouring of anything which is in liquid form. This shows the youthful activity of the children, energy, excitement, as well as movement. So, it is a vivid picture, youth, happiness, and vitality. The contrast is now here inside the car where there is The mother who is old, weak, pale, and wrinkled. This creates a strong contrast between old age and youth, weakness and vitality, approaching death, and the energy of life outside. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her. She finally they reached the airport. Kamala Das is standing a few yards away from her mother. Earlier, she had looked outside to distract herself from the painful thought. But at the airport, she looks at her mother once again. And that painful thought returns. Here, the physical distance between them is also very significant because the final moment of separation has arrived. Because now Kamala Das is ready to board the plane. Worn, pale as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. Kamala Das again notices her mother's face. She finds it worn and pale. Here she compares her mother to a late winter's moon. It's a simile. A late winter's moon appears pale and lacks brightness. It is often covered with clouds, mist, and fog. Similarly, the mother has lost her freshness and vitality and become very old. There is also a deeper meaning. Winter is the last season of the year, just as old age is the last stage of life. Old age, fading vitality, and approaching death. Looking at her mother brings back her old familiar ache. And what was the childhood fear? The fear of losing her mother. As a child, she feared separation from her mother. Now, as she has become an adult, the same fear has returned back. And this fear is of permanent separation through death. But all I said was, see you soon, Amma. All I did was smile and smile and smile. Now comes the final farewell. The poet is experiencing pain and fear, but she does not express it. Instead, she says, see you soon, Amma. In fact, it's just a hope, and hope she is hoping against hope. The words are an attempt to reassure her mother and also herself. She does not want that this farewell should become a dramatic expression of her fear. All I did was smile and smile and smile. This smile is being repeated. She is not simply smiling because she is happy. She is trying to hide her pain and control her emotions. This smile is artificial, it is hollow. But the repeated smile becomes a kind of emotional mask. Outside, she appears calm and hopeful, but within, she is afraid of losing her mother. And this is exactly the very touching part of the poem. Children, now I'm just going to sum up this poem in a few phrases so that you can remember in a better way. She looks at her mother in the car, realizes her mother is very old, feels pain, tries to distract herself, sees youth and happiness outside in the form of young trees and merry children, looks at her mother again at the airport. Her childhood fear of losing her mother returns. She compares her mother here to the moon. Earlier in the car, she had compared her mother to, I hope you remember, to the corpse, a dead body. Finally, she says goodbye and she hides very cleverly the pain behind her smile. Children, I hope you liked the poem, and if you did like, do watch out for the next videos. I hope this breakdown was insightful. Keep an eye out for the next video. Until next time, goodbye and take care.